4.
Four.
Mayor, just wanted to remind council and anybody that might listen to the recording, the last day to file is February 18th. So if you want to file for a place in the election, it's got to be by end of business day, February 18th. And so the City Secretary has those in her office here.
Motion carries on that. Number 7, discussion and possible action regarding adopting resolution number 1342, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Brookshire approving a permit to move a structure to 10 Donna Court.
Mayor, you should have in your packet, this is, staff has looked at this, recommends it for approval.
Make a motion that we approve adoption resolution 1342.
Second.
Mr. Green, you vote?
4.
Ms. Taylor?
4.
Ms. Branch?
4.
Motion carries. Let's move on to agenda item number 8. Conduct a public hearing regarding the adoption of a master thoroughfare plan, traffic common guidelines, neighborhood traffic common studies for Crystal Lake Drive and Briar Brook Drive.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll make a brief presentation. All these items, you have seen it at least twice. We did a workshop earlier on when COVID had just started, and then we did a few months back, the engineer was here and made a presentation. So this is just the adoption process, and just for purposes of public, I just want to give a very brief explanation. So the major thoroughfare plan basically has 6 goals. One is to maintain the street hierarchy. What is the thoroughfare? What is the local road? Things like that, and make sure that the traffic flow is continuous and unobstructed. Also make sure that the traffic plan, thoroughfare plan is consistent with regional plans for the area, and also long-range transportation plans, land use, and other linkages. Also make sure that the future growth is accommodated. We did a study on future projections, and all that has been accommodated in this plan. And one of the things that it also does is try to look at alternate transportation modes, look at how can we promote walking, biking, and things like that by looking at cross sections, and then also make sure that when in the future development is coordinated, the city coordinates with developers, it encourages more public-private partnerships for transportation improvements and other cost-effective funding mechanisms. So some of the documents that staff looked at looked at the comprehensive plan, the current land use map. We shared that the land use map that we had prepared for the city of Brookshire. They looked at ETJ, and then looked at the Waller County Comprehensive Strategic Plan to see what their projections were. Looked at the Waller County Transportation Plan, regional transportation plan, and the regional development plan to make sure that the city of Brookshire's thoroughfare plan fit into all those. And then, so they looked at land uses, roadways, road patterns. They did a crash analysis that you see in the report to identify intersections that might be issues, and also estimated 2045 traffic volume. So this plan is in effect a 2045 master plan. Typically, every 5 years, cities update their plans, and sooner if there is a lot of growth in the area. And then, so the recommendations are in the report, the short-term and long-term recommendations, and the thoroughfare plan has recommendations on street classifications and functions. And one of the thoughts was also to make sure that residential neighborhoods are protected from traffic, major traffic is channelized into major corridors. And so that is the master transportation plan. The other item in your agenda is traffic calming guidelines. And again, one of the things, the goals of this study was to ensure that neighborhood safety was increased, people controlled, accidents were minimized, and just access to emergency vehicles was not curtailed in any way. So those were all the safety considerations that were taken. We also looked at aesthetics in terms of, provision for landscaping, and also one of the things was to just decrease neighborhood intrusion, cut through traffic through neighborhoods. And looked at, of course, traffic efficiency, connectivity between places, looked at diversity of users, not just motorists, but also pedestrians, bicyclists, and also including neighborhood identity. So the document in front of you, basically for the recommendations focus on the 3 E's, education. So the first recommendation is generally something that's not physical, like what can be done through educating the public, and that includes, using mechanisms like speed counters and things like that. The second one was engineering. So if that doesn't work, then what are the physical measures that can be done for lowering the speed? And the last one was enforcement. So that is the so your study has these recommendations, and you can see at the end there is a traffic calming toolbox that guides developers and city to see what measure is going to be appropriate for the neighborhoods. And some of these measures will be incorporated as a reference to the subdivision ordinance that we are working on, so that when somebody designs a new subdivision, they can go back and refer to the document and use the recommendations. The third one was neighborhood calming measures. So the 2 neighborhoods, Crystal Lakes and Brook Driver, looked into, they did a physical inventory, observed the traffic, did the assessment, and have solutions in the report. Again, there were 3 alternatives. One was, like I said, education and improvement, outreach, the radar, speed trailer enforcement, which would be police monitoring. And then the next alternative would be doing speed bumps. And if you look in your report, it tells you what are the existing speed bumps in place, how do you replace it, how do you design a speed hump, what are some of the standards, and also the locations. And again, this helps when some new subdivisions come in to incorporate those standards. And the last one was actual road manual designs, and there were some before and after studies. So those were the 3 things I think that are on the agenda for adoption today.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions?
Does he need to open the hearing and
Yeah,
close
yeah.
it?
Just open the hearing and for comment, and then we can close it if there's no comment.
Okay, the hearing is open.
Would you state the
State
time?
the time. Sorry.
It is now 7:29. We'll close it at 7:29. Agenda item number 11, discussion and possible action regarding,
Number 9.
No,
Number 9.
We're on
Justin,
9.
can we do all 3 of them together?
Yes, ma'am.
that's what I did. I mean, we talked ahead of a while
Well, for
ago.
the public hearing, you did all them together, but you can also approve numbers 9, 10, and 11.
right.
You ready for a motion?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion that we adopt resolution 1343, Resolution 1344 and Resolution 1345.
Second.
Mr. Green, your report. Ms. Taylor?
4.
Four.
Carries. What? Right?
Yeah.
Mayor's report may include updates regarding painting of city building, convention center sign, safety lighting throughout the city, and convention center repair bids. Okay. On the paintings of, the 2 city buildings, the old fire station, I first had a bid from a gentleman that said, he could do it for $8,100. And after talking to him, later on, I managed to get it down to $7,430. And he can start on it as soon as the weather allowing. Any questions? And the color will be like a light blue. And the convention center sign, I don't have nothing up to date. Do you?
In last checking, they, as I stated in the last meeting, we have checked on it again. They have all permits that have been pulled. I really don't know what the holdup is. I'm asking that administration would please reach out to them and see what we can do, because we've done our part. We're just waiting on them.
Yes. The last thing they told me was that they were preparing the sign, and so I will check back with them again.
I keep hearing too.
That's all, that's what she told me last. Okay,
They got the money, so.
okay.
Okay. And for as the lighting throughout the city, convention center repairs, the lighting throughout the city, I have met with Travis and another gentleman came to my office where we had a meeting. And we're working on giving locations to try to get some of these locations lit up.
If possible, Brother Mayor, I'll try to see about having those, quote, for those lights for our responsibility for as, forgot, the solar lights.
We discussed them, because they're more brighter and more efficient, so we did discuss them, and we're just trying to figure out where we need to put them. Okay? Any other questions?
Did you get the email from Chief on the locations, or you?
No, I hadn't got anything from Chief.
Not a
Not
new,
but that
it's
first
still
one.
the old list, yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
old
the
list?
only one.
We haven't gotten a new one.
But I do have some locations I rode around town a little bit after dark. There's a couple places in Lakeside, one's that's flashing, and there's a couple places over here on Third Street, a request on the corner of Depot and Waller Avenue, and a couple other places that I do have written down to pass on to them. And as far as the convention center repair bid, we only received one, right, Ms. Harrison?
The last one was from Mr. Woods,
Woods.
yes. for only one we have, is Mr.
So
Wood.
we have to have two to get it, is the question?
Do we, Justin, if we go out for bids and only get one?
Then you can choose the one that you got, if you went out for bidding on it.
That's the one that you said that you was familiar with him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mr. Woods?
Why don't we just let him, cause it's, you know, we don't have no more.
It's time that we do something with it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's been a long time coming. So I'll leave it up to you.
I think we should go ahead and just hire him to do it, cause like I said, it's been time.
Is that okay, Mr. Pruitt?
Have you,
Has
has
the
the council
quote been
taken
submitted?
action to do anything?
No.
Then what we'll need to do is, on the upcoming agenda, we can put that.
Okay, well, I'll put it on.
Because how much is the bid?
My final bid was $7,430. He first quoted me $8,100.
No, he's
Not
talking about
the
the
convention
convention.
center.
Oh, convention center, I don't have that one.
I can't remember, but it was one that needed to get, you had
Yeah,
to
because
go
if
out.
it's over that bidding requirement, then we gotta make sure.
Yeah, I
council-
don't,
It is. It's over 50.
okay. Okay, let's move to agenda item number 13, discussion and possible action regarding invoice payments and reports.
Make a motion that we approve invoice payments and reports.
Second,
Oh, Mayor, may I?
I second.
I just wanted to, if anybody missed seeing EDC December is not ready, when I get it completed, I will send it to all of you all by email. Okay, so that is not in your, EDC December is not in your packet.
Mr. Stamps, your vote? 4. Mr. Green?
4.
And Ms. Brown?
I abstain, Mayor.
We still, motion carried. Let's move on to agenda item number 14, and reports for future agenda items. I'll start with you, Mr. Jones.
I wanna, community spring cleanup, March the 11th through the 13th, 2022.
Is that spring break?
That's
It'll start that weekend.
start the, yes, ma'am.
What was the dates again? I'm sorry.
March 11th, Friday. The 12th is a Saturday, and the 13th is a Sunday.
And are we getting dumpsters and?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have a specific spot or it's gonna be everywhere? What y'all
No.
do?
We have 4 locations that we've used in the past. You have anything in mind?
No, I was just asking, wanted to see if it was like everywhere or just you had
So
certain.
it's citywide, but it'll be certain locations for the
For the
dumpsters to
dumpsters.
come.
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
The main location is Public Works.
Yes.
Okay.
Then there was one place, where else?
City Hall.
Okay.
Well, they asked us to refrain from using the one at City Hall. And Ms. Harrison, you can help me if I step out of line, because people bring lumber and stuff that still has nails and screws and stuff in it. It falls out the dumpster. The ladies that come and park, their tires get, they're having problems, so.
Nails in the tires.
Let's get it on the agenda and we'll get the location.
I second it.
Have we discussed the zoning?
It's wrote in the charter.
Hold on,
What's
I
in the
still
charter?
need to votes.
Oh, I apologize.
Mr. Stamps,
4.
Mr. Green,
4.
Ms. Taylor.
4. He heard
I'm sorry, go ahead,
4.
Mr. Jones.
Because I know we had 2 meetings already with the presentation that was brought to us concerning zoning, I thought about the public hearing, to hear the public report, how the public feel about it.
So we can do, so what was presented was your development standards, those
Yes.
updates, and those are coming the next month, first meeting next month.
Okay.
We'll have the public hearing then, but for zoning, you don't have to have a charter for that. All we need to do is have a public hearing. And, but we can put that on, if you want that to be a future agenda item, a public hearing for zoning, we can get that set up.
She did a lot of presentation in, but only be right. Yes, sir.
Second.
Mr. Stamps?
4.
Mr. Reed?
4.
Plus, it was already originated that we would have a public
You're
hearing.
right.
Yeah.
I
4.
forgot we swapped it around.
Mr. Jones, do you have any more?
Not at this time, brother David.
Thank you, sir.
Trying to breathe. Struggling.
Mr. Stamps?
No, sir, not at the moment.
Mr. Green?
No, sir, not right now.
Ms. Taylor?
The convention center bid. So we can get it processed.
Second. Sorry.
Mr. Jones, your vote, please.
4.
Mr. Stamps?
4.
4.
That's on the
Okay,
website.
oh, it's your turn, Mr. Rich.
It's on the website, right?
That's all 4.
That's all,
Yeah.
just the one.
Mhm.
Ms. Branch?
We put it out there.
None at this
Put it
time,
to the
Mayor.
paper and
Just 'cause I won't be here next time, but I can double up the next
Okay,
meeting
okay.
after that.
Oh, this
That was an
over.
accident. Anyway, let's move on to agenda item number 14. No, 15, council reports and community announcements.
Brookshire Youth Council and Brookshire Police Department will be hosting a blood drive on Sunday, February the 20th at 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
what's the time again?
12 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's
And
Sunday,
where's the location?
Brookshire Police Department. That's February, Sunday the 20th.
Mr. Jones, you have anything?
Well, basketball, boys and girls have a game tomorrow night against El Campo. And on which will be our senior night for the girls, and senior night will be Friday, February 11th for the boys. We want to give a shout out to our young ladies who will be, who are the district champs. Ladies, once again, three-peat, four-peat,
3 p.m.
three-peat, district champs, under Coach McGowan. So we, as a community, ought to rally around them and celebrate their accomplishments.
What time the game start?
4:30 is on the website
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow, correct.
tomorrow. Yes,
Okay.
we have 5 seniors that will be being recognized from the Lady Falcon side on tomorrow night.
Okay.
Any more?
I'd like to say thank you and congratulations to this council for the master thoroughfare plan. This is big. I don't think I don't know how much thought y'all put into it, but this is huge for our community. And years to come, we'll actually see this in form. We'll actually see what we voted on as the growth comes to our community and it actually starts changing. And we see the hard work that we put into it. Thank you, Justin and Gunda Corporation for all the hard work. I just want to say thank you. This is big. That's all I have.
Anyone else? Okay. The last item is number 16, adjournment.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Uh-oh. Y'all did that in unison.
Which one?
It don't matter.
This one, you can have it.
My name already wrote on there, you can't.
Okay, Mr. Jones.
He talking about me.
4.
Mr. Stamps.
4.
We'll do that next meeting, I won't be here.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Thank everybody for coming in this afternoon.